So before Canelo Triple G2 was announced, there were rumors that Jacobs and Canelo was going to happen.
Yeah, it was very close.
Could you elaborate on the...
It was very close. I mean, obviously there was a lot of beef between Triple G and Canelo, and it didn't look like that fight was going to happen. Eric Gomez come on and said, we talked numbers, we had counter offers, another counter offers. We were close, but then unfortunately he phoned me up. He said, we've reached a deal, and I was like, okay. So Danny gets a chance to become world champion tonight, and I think if he wins, I really think he's one of the favourites for Canelo in May.
Given the fact that Canelo now fights on DAZN, do you think the fight would be a lot easier to pick up negotiations?
Yeah, for sure.
Wins the fight
yeah. I mean, I think DAZN look at our guys, Andrade, Jacobs, and they're natural guys to fight. It's very easy, and it would be a deal that would be very easy to do. And I know that DAZN would love Canelo against Jacobs, obviously so would we, but he has to win tonight, so fingers crossed, and hopefully he becomes champion.
Do you think the UFC platform, the way they kind of compete against each other in the exact way you explained, of like having 3 pay-per-views, every couple weeks, makes people like pick? Do you think that hurts them in the long run? Whereas with DAZN, you pay per month, so whatever you give us, we watch.
The issue is that in the UK, we don't have the rights fees from broadcasters to be able to put on Joshua against someone. So we have to go pay-per-view. And there's never been a broadcaster that is willing to pay the pay-per-view revenues as a license fee. Now there is, and they're called DAZN. So when with this deal they've been able to go to Canelo and say, look, all this money you're making on pay-per-view, we will guarantee you as a rights fee. It's never been done before. So sometimes promoters and fighters have had no choice but to spin it on pay-per-view and to try. But the problem is, what happens when you're supposed to do a pay-per-view? Fury Wilder, for example. How many pay-per-views? I don't know. Could be as little as 200. Could be 400. I don't know. But if you're spun a line, it's going to do 1 million buys, and they haven't even sold 10,000 tickets yet in apparently the biggest fight of the year. What happens if it does 200,000? And you've been told it's going to do 1 million? And you're on the upside of the pay-per-view, and you're supposed to make 15 million, and you can walk away with 4.
You're in the red.
Exactly. So that's the worry. So I think people like Canelo and Golden Boy are smart in the sense that they've looked at this guarantee and said, do you know what? Like, let's take it, because we don't know what's going to happen with pay-per-view. Like at the moment, Canelo Golovkin's doing 1.2. What happens if in a year's time it does 800,000? They've covered themselves, they've got guaranteed money, and that goes a long way.
Are you surprised that Canelo Triple G2 did 1.2 million? I think exceeding the numbers from the first fight?
I thought it would do more.
Really?
And I thought if they would have got each other in front, how can you do a fight with that much animosity and that much controversy and not get them together? It's the first thing you do is get them around a table talking about the drugs, talking about the draw, talking about this. That's going to sell because we've never seen that from Gennady before, but we know it's there in this instance.
In terms of rematches being bigger than the first fight, I can't recall one since Tyson Holyfield 2. Rematch is a bigger event than the first fight.
Yeah, well, I think that it wasn't much bigger, but it should have been much bigger. And the third fight will be bigger than the second fight because it was a brilliant fight and it was a close fight, and there's still controversy, but you've got to bring them together.
Do you think the second fight should have been a draw?
Do you know what? Like, shockingly, I haven't watched it in its entirety.
Okay.
So, but I've sort of gathered everybody's feedback, and there's a lot of swayed opinions. Like, there's a lot of people in boxing that feel like Canelo won the fight, but it seems like en masse people felt Golovkin won the fight.
I think Canelo really won because he did what the media wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Somebody's supposed to have knockout power.
Yeah, well, he backed him up, and you saw his face after the fight. Golovkin, he'd been in a war,